Kurama and the tailed beasts first came into being in the waning days of Hagoromo Otsutsuki, who used his creation of all things technique to divide the Ten Tails chakra into 9 separate bodies and giving each a name. Sometime after being created, the sage explained to the young tailed beasts that a link existed between them despite their separation. He also foretold of a day that they would be brought together again, though not as they were, and that at that time someone would emerge to show them what true power is. In the anime, a temple built for the purpose of protecting it in a forest region with mountains that would later become part of the Land of Fire. Over time, Kurama gained a fearsome reputation as a natural disaster that can desolate areas where the darkest aspects of human nature collect and fester. During the time of the founding of the shinobi villages, the Gold and Silver brothers of Kumogakure were assigned to capture Kurama, but were both swallowed whole by the fox. However, the two brothers survived and gained some of its power by eating the flesh of its stomach for 2 weeks, forcing Kurama to regurgitate them. After Madara Uchiha's defection from Konohagakure, he found Kurama and used his Sharingan to control it, forcing the fox to help him against Hashirama Senju, the first Hokage. The epic battle left a colossal scar in the earth that would come to be called the Valley of the End. After his victory over Madara, Hashirama's wife Mito Uzumaki sealed the fox within herself, becoming its first Jinchuriki. Over the period of time, the World Wars, Mito kept Kurama at bay, except when the seal nearly broke when she was going through childbirth. Towards the final years of her life, Mito passed on this status and responsibility to another member of her clan, Kushina Uzumaki, who later became the wife of Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage. Although Kushina was terrified with the responsibility of containing Kurama, Mito assured her successor that the fox's hatred was powerless against her love. Soon after the end of the Third Shinobi World War, the 3rd Hokage made special arrangements for Minato to ensure that Kurama would remain sealed inside Kushina while she gave birth to Naruto on the night of October 10th. However, despite keeping the childbirth a secret, a masked man named Tobi tracked down their location, killed their escorts, and held Naruto hostage, forcing Minato to quickly rescue him and teleport him to safety. Right after Tobi captured Kushina, he extracted and seized control of Kurama and tried to have the fox kill its barely surviving Jinchuriki, but Minato made it in time to save the masked man, summoned Kurama into Konoha, and ordered it to destroy the village. While Kurama was rampaging in the village, Minato fought against Tobi and soon managed to place a contract seal on him, which freed the fox from his control. Despite that, Kurama still harbored resentment against Konoha for sealing it away and continued decimating the shinobi forces that tried to repel it. As it prepared a tailed beast ball, Minato summoned Gamabunta on top of the fox and quickly teleported it to Kushina and Naruto's location, letting its tailed beast ball detonate away from the village. Already dying from the extraction, Kushina used her remaining strength to restrain Kurama, planning to seal the fox back inside her so it would die with her. However, knowing that Kurama would revive without a host and how great a threat Tobi was, Minato instead came up with the plan to give his son the means to combat the masked man in the future. Because Kurama's chakra was too immense to be sealed within an infant, Minato first used the dead demon consuming seal to separate and seal its yin half and imprison the yang half within Naruto. Realizing what they were planning, Kurama attempted to kill Naruto, but both of the parents used themselves as shields and completed the sealing. Later, upon awakening within Naruto's subconscious and learning the reason behind Minato's intention, Yang Kurama, though frustrated of being sealed again, decided to wait for the time to come when it would influence Naruto as much as it could to use the power to break the seal. Throughout the years, Kurama weakened the seal through the cracks of its formation by constantly leaking out small portions of its chakra, which had positive side effects on Naruto, such as amplifying his naturally large chakra reserves and healing ability, being able to heal from minor wounds within seconds to major injuries within a day. In the anime, it was revealed that Kurama had left behind large amounts of its own chakra during the attack. Kazuma collected and sealed the chakra within his own son, Sora, hoping to make use of its power. First made use of the Nine Tails chakra during his battle with Haku. Believing Haku to have killed Sasuke, Naruto gave into his anger and entered his initial Jinchuriki form in order to defeat Haku. The Nine Tails expressed great delight at Naruto finally making use of the stage of the Chunin exams. The Nine Tails chakra emerged again while Naruto battled a disguised Orochimaru in the Forest of Death. Although Naruto's strength abilities increased, Orochimaru recognized the Nine Tails' power and countered it with the 5 Elements seal. This seal blocked Naruto's access to the fox's chakra and rendered him unconscious. Jiraiya, who the Nine Tails quickly recognized as the 4th Hokage's teacher, later appeared and removed Orochimaru's seal. Jiraiya explained to Naruto that he possessed 2 types of chakra. Naruto didn't realize that he was talking about the Nine Tails until he was taught to take advantage of it. In order to induce Naruto to use them. In a desperate act to save his own life, Naruto entered his subconscious and met with the Nine Tails for the first time. Although the Nine Tails initially terrified its Jinchuriki by revealing its strong desire to kill and devour him, Naruto boldly demanded the fox to give him his chakra as a form of rent money for living in his body. Realizing that his death would result in its own, the Nine Tails complied, giving Naruto enough chakra to summon Gamabunta. Delighted that Naruto finally became consciously aware of its presence, the Nine Tails became convinced that it could influence Naruto even more to use its power. The Nine Tails kept quiet until Naruto faced Neji Hyuga in the first match of the final rounds of the Chunin exams. After Neji used his 8 trigram 64 palms technique to block Naruto's chakra points, Naruto called upon the Nine Tails for assistance. Without hesitating, it gave its Jinchuriki enough chakra to force its chakra points open, and in Naruto's fight against Gaara, the Nine Tails gave some of its chakra to Naruto, leading him to defeating Shukaku's Jinchuriki. While on his search for Tsunade with Jiraiya, Naruto was confronted by Itachi Uchiha and Kisame Hoshigaki of Akatsuki. Naruto tried to use the Nine Tails chakra to help him fight against them, but Kisame quickly used his Samehada sword to absorb it all and attempted to cut off Naruto's arms. Luckily, Jiraiya arrived in time to block Kisame's attack with his Toad Summon and was able to force both Akatsuki members to retreat. Later, before Naruto deafened Kabuto Yakushi with a completed Rasengan, Kabuto severed Naruto's heart muscles and his neighboring chakra system, to which the Nine Tails was unable to heal its host. While Tsunade desperately tried to save Naruto, the Nine Tails noticed that its power was fading as its surroundings grew darker and darker. It, like Naruto, had a near-death experience, something it was slow to recognize. Fortunately, Naruto and the Nine Tails were able to survive this encounter through the help of Tsunade and her medical ninja. Naruto's battle with Sasuke at the Valley of the End, Sasuke, in his first level of the Cursed Seal of Heaven, pierced a fatal wound in Naruto's right shoulder with his Chidori. Fortunately, the Nine Tails quickly gave Naruto enough chakra to heal his large wound almost instantly and entered his initial Jinchuriki form. With this, Naruto was able to overwhelm Sasuke with his immense speed. However, as the fight continued, Sasuke was able to predict and overcome Naruto's attack with his then fully matured Sharingan. The Nine Tails berated the unconscious Naruto for being too weak and gave him more of his usual chakra to attain the one-tailed form, something the fox indicated that he should be grateful for. During Naruto's 3-year training under Jiraiya, the Sannin began training Naruto to gain better control of the Nine Tails chakra, soon helping Naruto to master wielding the chakra cloak up the 2 tails. Feeling he was ready to take it to the next level, Jiraiya had Garotora tweak the seal enough for additional chakra to be unleashed. However, the Nine Tails took advantage of this and began mocking Naruto for his failure to save Sasuke.